The Ford GT is a pretty awesome machine. That first version from 2005 pays homage to a truly amazing race car from the 1960s. Ford went out and won the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and it means so much to the brand even decades later. The first road car version of the GT was here for 2 model years. Then time passed, and Ford introduced the second generation car for the 2017 model year. Now we're entering the GT's endgame stage. So Ford is saying goodbye to it with a truly monstrous version, the 2023 Ford GT Mark IV. The GT Mark IV is a small batch, track-only, insane iteration of an already focused and dialed machine. Ford is taking the aero, power, and tech of this thing to a new level. The resulting creation pays homage to essentially the entire catalog of GT-based hits. Most specific, though, is the direct nod to a 1967 Le Mans winning GT that was driven by Dan Gurney and AJ Foyt. Ford, in this regard, will build just 67 examples of the 2023 GT Mark IV, and each one starts at $1.7 million. And even if you have the dough, Ford is handpicking who gets to buy one of these. Ford has turned this one up to 11. The car gets far more aggressive carbon fiber bodywork. In fact, this one is longer overall, and Ford calls this one a long-tail version. Since it's track only, the headlights are basically strips of daytime running lights. The dive planes and front lip look extra mean, while the NACA ducts on the nose look fantastic. Then out back sits a huge rear wing, while the aero disc style wheels likely serve some sort of aero upgrade service, but I also think they just look awesome. This car is way more than simply extra aero though, as Ford has upgraded the mechanical bits too. The standard road cars climbed up to 660 horsepower, but here Ford has reworked the 3.5-liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost with a target output of 800 horsepower. Gone is the 7-speed dual clutch transmission in favor of what Ford is referring to as a proper racing gearbox, and the suspension setup is changed out for Multimatic's adaptive spool valve system. The wheelbase is a bit longer, the aero is race car aggressive, and the overall style is fantastic. No wonder the price tag has been pushed to a place that I assume makes this the most expensive Ford ever built. And if you've got that kind of change laying around, there are actually over 40 GTs for sale on AutoTrader right now. I know, I was shocked too. Click the link above to go find them. They range from about $500,000 for 2005 models to over $1 million for the current generation car. Back to this insane one though. It also makes great sense to tie this chef's kiss send-off to that 1967 Ford GT, since it too got reworked aero and a longer wheelbase compared to the versions that came before it. The 2023 Ford GT Mark IV looks every bit the part of a real race car, and it makes sense that you won't be able to drive these on the street. Hopefully, Ford invites the people fortunate enough to buy these to compete in some sort of one-make racing series so we can see them out there dicing it up on a racetrack. After all, if you can afford to spend almost $2 million on a car you can only drive on a track, then you should take every opportunity to do that.